All right, we're going to try this again since I fell off. Hey everyone, Nicholas Wildstar, Libertarian candidate for governor, here to say hello, Merry Christmas to all of you, and Happy Holidays, as well as answer one of the many Q&A questions that I've received. Since this is the season for giving, I'd like to thank you all for giving me your time, and thank you for appreciating my time. Running for office is very tedious and demands a high level of commitment, which takes away from my time I could be spending with my own family. As most of you may know, I am married, and as supportive as my wife is of my aspirations, she's not really a fan of politics or what it takes out of our relationship with each other in order for me to serve as a representative of the public. I'm sure most of you have spent or are spending your time right now with loved ones and understand just how precious these times in our lives can be, especially for those who have lost someone close, which is mostly everyone in the world. So we all should take the time to reflect on just how invaluable our time here on this planet really is. Speaking of time, I don't want to take up too much of yours since you have gracefully shared yours with me to watch this video. So I'll go ahead and answer the question I was asked, which is, how do you feel about the three strikes law? And would you help those that have been sentenced to life in prison before the law was passed? My answer is yes. I'll do everything in my power, within my power as governor, to either have those criminal sentences reduced or have them released from prison altogether. The three strikes rule is terrible, and just like most of the laws written, have done more to hurt we the people, opposed to protect them. If there are any of you out there that have not heard of such a thing, the three strikes and you're out approach to law has been around since the mid-90s. The law means that anyone convicted of 3 felonies automatically be sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Proposal of this law came about after emotional response from the public to a few violent incidents that were sensationalized by the media. What started in California ended up sweeping across the nation and spread to 24 states. This was a crown achievement for Bill Clinton, who was president at the time and had even implemented the law on the federal level. The Democrats wanted to seem just as tough on crime as the Republicans, so the party was heavily invested into making sure that it was a success. It was not. Since its inception, over 85% of the inmates sentenced to serve life sentences for getting 3 strikes were for nonviolent crimes such as possession of drugs and petty thefts. It's overcrowded the prison population in California by nearly 150%, housing nearly 130,000 people in prisons built to only hold 80,000. And of course, has wasted obscene amounts of taxpayer dollars on prosecutions and imprisonment of offenders. California has one of the most expensive prison systems in the world, with every household paying about $70,000 in taxes annually on prisoners, which include medical care costs, facility costs, and even travel expenses to send prisoners off to be incarcerated in places like Arizona and even Mississippi, which is halfway across the nation. There's over 40,000 prison guards, with the average correctional officer getting paid $70,000 a year. Governor Jerry Brown's budget projected that $11 billion with a B was spent on the state's prison system in just 2017 alone. The state's recidivism rate has steadied at around 60%, so the law has not reduced crime at all. And in over 20 years that it's been around, has imprisoned hordes of people that are either mentally ill or homeless or both, and it has had a dramatic effect on our inner city communities. According to the California State Justice Department own report, it admitted that the incarceration rate for 3 strike offenses was 13 times more higher for blacks than it was for whites found guilty of the same crimes. Many prosecutors now shamefully regret convictions under the law, including former Attorney General Gil Garcetti, who stated on the record that, quote, "I didn't have the backbone to prosecute the law with moral judgment." He's also the father of the current mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, who seems to be focused more on his political career than fight against rising crime rates in his city. The three strikes law is just another law that stemmed from good intentions but resulted in extreme government overreach. It's based on the bad apple theory, which is insane to me that such a thing tends not to include the criminal behavior of elitists. Despite the high level of crimes that they've committed, they always seem to only get a slap on the wrist. I'd like to change that. So as governor, I promise that I will drain the swamp of bad apple state representatives and put them in jail where they belong by replacing the nonviolent offenders sitting in jail with those lowlifes. If you know of anyone imprisoned, whether it be under the three strikes law or not, talk to them, visit them, keep them hopeful. Come this time next year, they just might be able to spend the holiday together with you instead of being behind bars. Vote Wildstar for governor on June 5th, 2018, and let's bring back liberty and justice for all. For any of you watching that have been convicted of a felony or know of someone that has, felons can vote. Once released from prison or discharged from parole, your right to vote is automatically restored. Even if you're on probation, you can still vote. The only time your right to vote is denied is if you're still in prison serving time or in county jail waiting for a transfer. So be sure to get registered to vote ASAP and do something that can change the future for yourself and anyone else that may have to deal with this corrupt, unbalanced injustice system. Thank you all for your time. And thank you to the person who submitted the question for this discussion. Of course, if there are any of you out there that would like to pick my brain, be sure to submit your question by sending a message to my inbox or just leave it here in the comments section. Also, be sure to tell me what you think about what was said here by commenting and share this video with others to help spread the word about my campaign for California governor. Peace and blessings to you all, and have a very Merry Christmas.